Hello everyone and welcome back to the Student Physio. Today we are starting with the cardiac graphs, and the very first graph that we want to see is the effect of temperature on frogs. If you have now seen my previous videos, you know what is the arrangement of heart when it is prepared for these experiments. Like the pin is inserted at the tip of the ventricles and the heart is raised above from the surface. Now to make you understand this, let us now imagine this watch as the frog's heart, where this is the sinus venosus, the atria, and the band shows the ventricle. The tip of the ventricle, this pin is inserted, and it is then with the pulley lifted upwards. So now the position of the heart is this, that is the ventricles above, below then the atria, and then the sinus venosus. Getting it? Okay. We are now assuming that the effect of the solution that I am putting from above is happening at all the three, the ventricles, atria, and the sinus venosus. Now, to understand it better, let us consider blood equal to the chocolate that we melt. Okay. So imagine if I want to decrease the viscosity यानी क्या गाढ़ापन. अगर मेरे को एक हार्ड चॉकलेट को पतला बनाना है, what will I do? I will heat it, right? So heating decreases the viscosity. Understood? अगर मैं वही वॉर्म रिंगर सोल्यूशन हार्ट पे डालूं और ब्लड को कंपेयर करूं तो ब्लड का भी क्या होगा, विस्कोसिटी कम होगा, क्योंकि वो हीट हो रहा है, यानी हीटिंग आ रही है, उसके हीटिंग का इफेक्ट दिखना चाहिए, तो इसके लिए उसकी विस्कोसिटी कम होगी. इफेक्ट ऑफ टेम्परेचर में दो केसेस हो सकते हैं. देयर कैन बी टू सिनेरियोज. एक कि जो इफेक्ट है वो सिर्फ वेंट्रिकल्स पे आ रहा है, यानी ब्लॉटिंग पेपर यूज करके द वार्म रिंगर सोल्यूशन और कोल्ड रिंगर सोल्यूशन इज ओनली अप्लाइड ऑन द वेंट्रिकल्स and there is no effect seen on the sinus venosus. This can be scenario 1. Scenario 2 is when the sinus venosus is also affected. That is because we are dropping with the dropper the warm and cold ringer solution, the effect is seen on the whole heart, that is the sinus venosus is also affected. This can be two different scenarios. Isme the main change will be when the sinus venosus is affected. As you all might know that when the temperature of any part of the body is increased, the metabolic activity of that part increases, the blood flow to the area increases, the metabolic activity increases, enzymatic activity increases. Okay, so if cold ringer or warm ringer, let us consider warm ringer solution, is added at the sinus venosus, the metabolic activity of the pacemaker cells increases. Therefore, the pacemaker ka activity increases. Now, pacemaker determines what? The heart ka rate. If the pacemaker ka activity increases, the conduction of the impulse, that is the impulse generated at the pacemaker, then it conducting to the atria and further the ventricles also increases. Therefore, there are faster impulse production, there is faster conduction, and what happens is the force of contraction then decreases. Why is that so? Because there is faster conduction and faster impulse, the time that is given to the heart musculature to actually contract and relax is decreased. ठीक है, क्योंकि इतने ज़्यादा जल्दी इम्पल्स आ रहे हैं कि वो हार्ट के मसल को इतना टाइम ही नहीं मिल रहा है कि वो पूरी तरह कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करके पूरी तरह रिलैक्स भी कर पाए, बिकॉज वो आधे इसमें रुक जा रहे हैं, उनका रिलैक्सेशन कंप्लीट नहीं हो रहा है, तो एंड डायस्टोलिक वॉल्यूम इज ऑल्सो डिक्रीज. देयरफॉर द फोर्स नीडेड टू पुश द ब्लड इज ऑल्सो डिक्रीज, द फोर्स ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्शन इज डिक्रीज्ड. ओके, सो आइडियल केस सिनेरियो में हम लोगों ने एक देख लिया है कि अगर साइनस विनोसिस पे वार्म रिंगर सोल्यूशन डाल रहे हैं तो क्या होगा, फोर्स ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्शन इज डिक्रीज्ड एंड द हार्ट रेट is increased because the pacemaker activity is increased. And the two reasons for it is increase in the enzymatic activity of the pacemaker cells, and secondly the decrease in the viscosity, because the heart because the blood is heated, there is decrease in the viscosity, as I have explained earlier. Now, if in contrast cold ringer solution is added, what will cold ringer solution do? It will decrease the enzymatic activity or the metabolic activity of the pacemaker cells. Now, decrease in that activity will decrease the pacemaker ka activity, which will further decrease the heart ka rate. Therefore, the changes in the graph will be accordingly, that the heart rate is decreased एंड द फोर्स ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्शन इज इंक्रीज बिकॉज अभी हार्ट रेट कम है, अभी हार्ट रेट बहुत कम है, तो धीरे से इम्पल्स आ रहा है, धीरे से कंडक्ट हो रहा है, एंड द हार्ट का मसल हैज वेरी मच टाइम टू फुल्ली कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, फुल्ली रिलैक्स. Therefore, after adding the Kohlringer solution, the effects seen are increase in the force of contraction, decrease in the pacemaker activity of the cells, decrease in the heart rate, and then fourth is decrease in the enzymatic activity of the pacemaker cells. Okay. As we conclude with the sinus venosus, now let us assume that this is the ideal condition where they have somehow managed कि ventricles पे effect हो रहा है, सिर्फ sinus venosus पे कोई effect नहीं हो रहा है, only the ventricles are getting affected. Then what graphs are we going to see? These are the two graphs that we will see if only ventricles are affected. So what can be seen is अगर साइनस वेनोसिस पे नहीं अफेक्ट हो रहा है ना, तो हार्ट के रेट पे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा, बिकॉज व्हाट इज जनरेटिंग द इम्पल्स, हार्ट का रेट कौन डिटरमाइन करता है? द पेसमेकर सेल्स. वेयर आर दे लोकेटेड? इन द साइनस वेनोसिस. देयरफॉर द हार्ट रेट रिमेन्स द सेम in both the cases, even if it is Wurmringer or Kohlringer. The heart rate remains same, only the force of contraction changes. Why is that so now? Because the effect of increase in the temperature of any part is increase in the enzymatic activity, and there is decrease in the viscosity, because the blood inside the ventricles, it becomes less viscous, and the enzymatic activity of the part when the Wurmringer solution is added, it is increased. The force of contraction by adding the Wurmringer solution increases. Okay, this is too different. Now understand this, because only the ventricles are affected and not the sinus venosus, the heart rate remains same. यहाँ पे heart rate कम हो रहा था, heart rate increase हो रहा था by adding the Wurmringer solution, but here the heart rate remains same. The force of contraction here was decreasing because the sinus venosus जो है that was affected, and the conduction was increased, and the heart wasn't able to relax fully. Therefore यहाँ पे force of contraction कम हो रहा था. But in ideal case scenario, when the only ventricles are affected, the force of contraction increases. Even though the heart rate remains same, the force of contraction. We have seen the effect of Wurmringer solution on the ventricles. Now if the Kohlringer solution is added only on the ventricles, heart rate is going to remain the same because the sinus venosus is not affected. Heart rate is same, only the force of contraction decreases. Then now why is that so? Because by adding Kohlringer, the enzymatic activity is decreased and the viscosity is increased. अगर गर्म चॉकलेट को ठंडा इसमें डालेंगे in cold bath, it has to harden, right? If you put it in the fridge, it has to harden. Similarly, if blood को ज़्यादा कोल्ड से हम लोग ये करेंगे, देन द viscosity जो है, गाढ़ापन जो है उसका, that is increased. Therefore the viscosity is increased and the force of contraction is decreased. Therefore it is perceived as smaller spikes on the graph. In my previous videos we have noted that the height determines the force of contraction, and when on the graph you see that there is decrease in the height of the systole and diastole, you have to write that the decrease there is decrease in the force of contraction. The heart rate remains the same, and in Wurmringer solutions you can clearly note there is increase in the height, therefore there is increase in the force of contraction. The heart rate remains same. This is the case for the ventricles. If the sinus venosus is affected, then there is changes in the heart rate as well. Now the important questions that can be asked with this topic is heat trigger. What is heat trigger? When temperature beyond physiological limit of the tissue is added, that is beyond 45 degrees Celsius, if something is added and the temperature is increased of the tissue, then there is beginning of denaturation of proteins. Now what will denaturation of protein will lead to? Sustained state of contraction, which is like irreversible state, and this will called next graph that we are studying is effect of first and second stainless ligature on the frog's heart. What are these graphs been made for? These are to demonstrate the properties of cardiac muscle. What are the properties of cardiac muscle? Excitability, contractility, conductivity, all or none law, autorhythmicity, etc. So with the help of first and second stainless ligature, we can prove 4 properties. What are they? Excitability, contractility, conductivity, and autorhythmicity. Stainless ligature. Ligature basically means what? Time. Now, when the heart का surface is seen, we have sinus venosus, atria, and ventricle. ठीक है, sinus venosus sends the impulse, atria needs to contract, and then the ventricle needs to contract. Now, अगर जो impulses भेज रहा है ये contraction के लिए, अगर हम उसी को बंद कर दे तो a ligature is tied between the sinus venosus and atria. The first stainless ligature is tied between the sinus venosus and the atria. अभी अगर ये लाइगेचर आ गया तो साइनस विनोसिस जो भी इम्पल्स जनरेट कर रहा है दैट कैन नॉट बी कंडक्टेड फर्दर. दिस प्रूव्स द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ कंडक्शन कि कंडक्शन नहीं हो रहा है. इसका मतलब कंडक्शन हार्ट की एक प्रॉपर्टी है, क्योंकि साइनस विनोसिस और एट्रिया के बीच में जब हमने लाइगेचर टाई किया तो कंडक्शन हो नहीं पा रहा था, इसलिए इम्पल्सेस नहीं पहुंच पा रहे थे व्हाट वर जनरेटेड बाय द साइनस विनोसिस. इट स्टेड ओनली देयर. तो अभी जब इम्पल्सेस नहीं पहुंच रहे तो क्या हार्ट बंद हो जाएगा? एट्रिया वेंट्रिकल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं करेगा? नो, because the heart has property of autorhythmicity. What will atria do? Atria will start generating its own impulse. The sinus venosus generates an impulse at the rate of 40 to 60 beats per minute. But what will atria do? It will generate impulse but at a slower rate. That is at a rate of 25 to 40 beats per minute. Now what is produced is called as the atrioventricular rhythm. This is not the sinus rhythm. Sinus rhythm was when the sinus was able to send the impulse conducted to the atria and ventricles. Now because of the stainless ligature, the impulses cannot be conducted, so the atria starts generating its impulse and atria and ventricle contracts according to the impulses generated by the atria. Therefore it is called as the atrioventricular rhythm, which generates at the rate of 25 to 40 beats per minute. Now the property of autorhythmicity is proved for the sinus venosus and atria. Now for the ventricles it has to be proved. For that second stainless ligature is applied. Second stainless ligature जब apply करते हैं, it is between the atria एंड द वेंट्रिकल. यानी पहले तो साइनस विनोसिस और एट्रिया वो तो बंद किया हुआ ही था. अभी एट्रिया और वेंट्रिकल के बीच में जो कंडक्शन हो रहा था, एट्रिया वेंट्रिकुलर रिदम जो जनरेट हो रहा था उसको भी बंद कर रहे हैं. यानी दिस एट्रिया और वेंट्रिकुलर के बीच में भी एक लाइगेचर इज टाइड. वेंट्रिकल्स नाउ हैज टू जनरेट इट्स ओन इम्पल्स. वेंट्रिकल्स नीड्स टाइम टू जनरेट इट्स ओन इम्पल्स and it generates impulse at a very slow rate. It generates impulse at nearly 15 beats per minute, like less than 15 beats per minute. Now what is now produced is called as the idioventricular rhythm. Idioventricular rhythm is when the ventricles start generating its own impulse and the heart contracts. Now ventricle is purely muscles. Okay, ventricles is like musculature. The ventricles start contracting and creating its own impulse. The force of contraction of the heart that is seen is increased. Therefore in the graph that we can see in the normal cardiogram as compared to the atrioventricular rhythm and then the idioventricular rhythm, the force of contraction in the idioventricular rhythm increases, though the rate of contraction, or that is the heart rate, is significantly reduced. It produces an impulse of only 15 beats per minute. So now we have now completed with the effects of both first and second stainless ligature. Let us now conclude what are the questions that can be asked around these graph. First, what is the property that can be proved by this graph that I have enumerated earlier? Secondly, what is cardiac impulse? We are saying that it generates impulse. What is that cardiac impulse? When the heart is excited, it is the self-propagatory electrochemical change that travels through the heart tissue and the cell membrane of the conducting tissue. That is over. Then the next is what are the changes seen on the first stainless ligature? That is the atrioventricular rhythm. Then decrease in the force of contraction, decrease in the rate of contraction, that is seen. Then what is the effect of the second stainless ligature? Increase in the force of contraction and decrease in the rate of contraction and production of the idioventricular rhythm. Another question that can also be asked is the enumerate at what rate the following tissues can generate its own impulse. That is, the sinus venosus can generate its impulses at 40 to 60 beats per minute. The atrioventricular rhythm is around 25 to 40 beats per minute, and idioventricular rhythm is less than 15 beats per minute. Another question that can be asked is comparison between the conductive system of human heart and frog's heart. In human heart, the conductive system constitutes of SA node, then AV node, then the bundle of his Purkinje fibers. That is how the cardiac impulse is transmitted. In frog's heart, it is sinus venosus, atrial musculature, and ventricular musculature. Questions can be asked on where is the first and second strenuous ligature tied? Strenuous ligature is at the sinoatrial junction, that is between the sinus and the atria, sinoatrial junction. Second strenuous ligature is at the atrioventricular junction, that is between the atria and the so now the property that we are going to discuss for the heart is the property of all or none law. What is all or none law? All or none law basically is when the stimulus is adequate and it is applied to the tissue responds to its maximum, that is the all phenomenon, and when the stimulus is inadequate, the tissue doesn't respond at all, which is the none phenomenon. यानी basically heart follow करता है आर या पार का रूल, है तो है, नहीं है तो बिल्कुल नहीं है, या तो आर है या तो पार है, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करेगा तो पूरा करेगा, नहीं करेगा तो बिल्कुल कुछ नहीं करेगा, ठीक है. So now how are we going to prove this property? When this property is now proved on a quiescent heart. What is a quiescent heart? Quiescent is equal to silent, यानी heart जो है is not beating, it is in a silent form. तो अभी heart को बीट नहीं कर रहा है वो खुद के इम्पल्स पे, तो हम लोग कहाँ से इम्पल्स प्रोवाइड करेंगे? इलेक्ट्रिकल इम्पल्स, यानी जो हम लोगों ने प्रिपरेशन हार्ट का बनाया था उसके ऊपर इलेक्ट्रोड्स अटैच करेंगे वेंट्रिकल्स के टिप के ऊपर और इलेक्ट्रिकल इम्पल्सेस भेजेंगे to record the changes. नाउ अ नॉर्मल कार्डियोग्राम पहले एक रिकॉर्ड कर चुके होते हैं हमारे ग्राफ में, जो है पहले एक नॉर्मल कार्डियोग्राम का दिखता है कि ये नॉर्मल था, उसके बाद एक फर्स्टेनियस लाइगेचर. फर्स्टेनियस लाइगेचर अब किधर अप्लाई किया था? अभी हमने थोड़ी देर पहले देखा है. इट इज अप्लाइड बिटवीन द sinus venosus and the atria, that is at the sinoatrial junction. First ligature apply कर दिया, and then the impulses, that is electrical impulses are sent और फिर रिकॉर्ड करते हैं. तो जब एक इम्पल्स भेजते हैं, it can be of different types. Now what is a threshold stimulus? A threshold stimulus is the minimum intensity of stimulus required to excite an excitable tissue or to produce a response. सिंपल है. थ्रेशोल्ड यानी इतना चाहिए ही होता है स्टिमुलेट करने के लिए, दैट इज थ्रेशोल्ड. उससे कम है तो सब थ्रेशोल्ड, उससे ज्यादा है सो सुप्रा थ्रेशोल्ड. फाइन. नाउ for getting the graph, what is done is there is basically two coils, primary coil and the secondary coil. The distance between the coil determines what is the strength of stimulus that is applied ऑन द हार्ट. ठीक है, अभी हम लोग क्या कर रहे थे? इलेक्ट्रोड रख रहे थे और इलेक्ट्रोड से हम लोग ये कर रहे थे कि इलेक्ट्रिकल स्टिमुलस देंगे और हार्ट को स्टिमुलेट करेंगे ताकि एक ग्राफ बने हमारे नॉर्मल कार्डियोग्राम जैसा. तो अभी इलेक्ट्रिकल स्टिमुलस देने के लिए वी हैव अ प्राइमरी कॉइल एंड अ सेकेंडरी कॉइल. अगर ये दो जो कॉइल है उनके बीच का जो डिस्टेंस है ये डिटरमाइन करता है कि कितना स्टिमुलस हम लोग, कितना स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ स्टिमुलस दे रहे हैं. ठीक है. सो व्हेन यू लुक एट दिस ग्राफ, you have the numbers like 45, 40, 30. What does this determine? This determine the distance between the two coils, the primary coil and the secondary coil. यानी ये determine करता है कि कितना strength of stimulus आ रहा है. So when the strength of stimulus is at 45 or 40, you can see that there is no change. ठीक है. जब कोइंसिडेंट हार्ट हो गया था, एट्रियल जंक्शन यानी फर्स्ट लाइगेचर बन गया है, उसके बाद से एक सिंपल प्लेन लाइन दिख रही है. 45 और 40 के जंक्शन पे जब है प्राइमरी और सेकेंडरी कॉइल, तब भी देयर इज नो चेंज. दैट इज दिस इज द सब थ्रेशोल्ड, यानी दिस इज नॉट इनफ, द स्ट्रेंथ इज नॉट इनफ टू प्रोड्यूस और एलिसिट अ रिस्पॉन्स इन द हार्ट मस्कुलेचर. ओके. नाउ व्हेन द डिस्टेंस इज रिड्यूस्ड, यानी स्ट्रेंथ को बढ़ाया जाता है, डिस्टेंस जितना कम होगा उतना स्ट्रेंथ बढ़ेगा. तो जब हमने डिस्टेंस को कम किया, 45 से 40 किया या फिर 40 से 35 किया, तब जब हमने धीरे धीरे डिस्टेंस कम किया, तब क्या हुआ? एक पॉइंट पे हमको एक जो स्ट्रोक है वो मिला. वी फाउंड द थ्रेशोल्ड स्टिमुलस, कि अब ये थ्रेशोल्ड है, इसके बाद हमारा पूरा हार्ट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट और रिलैक्स कर पा रहा है. ठीक है. तो अभी थ्रेशोल्ड मिलने के बाद व्हाट वी हैव डन, वी प्रोग्रेस टू सुप्रा थ्रेशोल्ड, कि इससे भी ज़्यादा इम्पल्स देख के देखते हैं कि क्या पता हार्ट और ज़्यादा ज़ोर से कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करने लग जाए. बट क्या ऐसा होगा? नो. इवन आफ्टर रिड्यूसिंग द स्टिमुलस or the strength of the stimulus, the heart shows little or no change in the फोर्स ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. यानी जितना हम लोगों को इफेक्ट दिख रहा था 35 पे, उतना ही हमको 10 पे भी दिखेगा. we are seeing the same effect both on the threshold level and on the supra threshold level. यानी दिस प्रूव्स द प्रॉपर्टी कि अगर हार्ट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कर रहा है तो एक थ्रेशोल्ड स्टिमुलस पे भी करेगा, तुम अगर ज़्यादा भी दे रहे हो तो भी उतना ही करेगा, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं करेगा ना उससे कम करेगा. ही हैज़ इट्स स्टैंडर्ड्स. ओके, हार्ट हैज़ इट्स स्टैंडर्ड्स. करेगा तो करेगा, नहीं तो बिल्कुल नहीं करेगा. Okay, now how is this property advantageous to the heart? This is the question asked. All the muscle fibers of the heart contract as one unit as a syncytium. There is maximum efficiency is obtained and the cardiac output is maintained effectively. And also second point being unnecessary loss of energy is prevented. कि अगर वो हो ही नहीं पाएगा उतने से स्टिमुलस से कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, तो वो फालतू में मेहनत भी नहीं करता है थोड़ा भी एक स्पाइक वाइक दिखाने. ठीक है. नाउ अनदर क्वेश्चन दैट कैन बी आस्क्ड इज how is it different in skeletal muscle and cardiac muscle? Skeletal muscle also has the property of all or none law, but how is it different from the cardiac muscle? In cardiac muscle, the all or none law is followed by the whole syncytium, by the whole heart, कि हार्ट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट खुद पूरा करेगा या नहीं करेगा. बट इन स्केलेटल मसल द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ ऑल और नन लॉ इज फॉलोड बाय मोटर यूनिट. व्हाट इज अ मोटर यूनिट? A motor unit is one alpha motor neuron with all the muscle fiber it innervates. So only a motor unit follows the all or none law and not the whole skeletal muscle.